Two. I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been, yeah, I've been up all night, I've been getting by, I've been walking on the sky, I've been wasting time, let me, yeah, got you on my mind, reasons I'm still trying to find them, driving all the time, let me get away, let me, hey, will you be my guide, let me follow blind, let me, all this time I spend, I hope I get lost again. Will I? Hey, I've been getting by, I've been getting, I just wanna flow someplace far that I can go. Man, I'm losing sleep in the undertow. I'm sinking in, there's nothing I can do for it. I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been getting by. No way I'm falling behind. I don't know where I belong. You know we sometimes collide. Till I see that look in your eyes. Ooh, ah. I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been, yeah, I've been up all night, I've been trying to write, I've been, come on, let me fly, come on, let me fly, let me, yeah, let me feel alive, even if I die trying. I've been getting by, I've been staying cool, I've been, yeah, walking on the sky, breaking all the rules, smoking it all out for lonely. Man, I wish I was the old me. You gotta act like a phony. Don't try to act like you know me. Someplace far that I can go. Man, I'm losing sleep in the undertow. I'm sinking in, there's nothing I can do for it. I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been getting by, I've been getting by. It's not like I've been getting by. It's not like I've been getting by. It's not like I've been getting by.
Youth, beauty, magic, gold, city lights, Hollywood, vice, summer, LA. I love you, LA. I love you, LA. I love you, LA. I love you. Youth, beauty, magic, gold, city lights, Hollywood, vice, summer. beauty, magic, gold, city lights, Hollywood, fights, summer, LA. I love you, LA. I love you, LA. I love you, LA. I love you, I love you, I love you.
I'll be a bird without a sky. You can be warm without the sun. We will drift by without the breeze. I will drift by without the breeze. I'll be a bird without a sky. You can be warm without the sun. We will drift by without the breeze. I will drift by without the breeze. I can shine on without the light. Shine free without the hustle. Can stand tall and down. We can stand tall and down. I can shine on without the light. Shine free without the hustle. Can stand tall and down. We can stand tall and down. J'ai vraiment puisé mon inspiration dans les émotions de l'histoire des Noirs qui ont mené à la naissance du jazz et son lien à la Révolution pour créer un message plein d'amour et d'espoir. Je pense qu'elle est importante parce qu'encore aujourd'hui, l'histoire continue de s'écrire. Des moments de grande violence, de fermeture d'esprit entre humains, alors que, d'après moi, on avance seulement à partir du moment où on s'unit, qu'on apprécie, qu'on respecte la richesse de notre pluralité et qu'on est plus fort ensemble, en fait. So I can shine on without the light. Shine free without the hustle. Can stand tall and down. We can stand tall and down. I can shine on without the light. Shine free without the hustle. Can stand tall and down. We can stand tall and down. I'll be birds without the sky. Can be warm without the sun. We will drift by without the breeze. I will drift by without the breeze. Can stand tall and down. Can stand tall and down.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We can obviously pick up on the enthusiasm that's in the room there today by the chatter. One of the wonderful things I saw just before you all came in the door was how everybody was out in the foyer there, and the mix was fantastic. We had Fireys talking to SES people, Ambo's talking to others. It was just a really, really good mix, and it's so wonderful to see that we can all come together in this forum and actually share those experiences, but also just be friends. It's quite nice, isn't it, for a change, to actually be here and be surrounded by people of similar thinking. Well, good morning and officially welcome to the 2024 QBANK Everyday Hero Awards. Not only to those people that are sitting in the room here today, but also those who are watching online. We have people right across Queensland tuning into this particular ceremony today because some can't make it, others know that they've been nominated and they want to see how the results turn out through the day. So you are not alone sitting in this room here today. There's people everywhere tuning into this particular broadcast. My name's Darren Curtis, and for 35 years I had a little job doing some work on television there for a little while. In between, I also did some stuff. I was a firefighter for many years and also a soldier, and I was also involved in the Mud Army. So I've got a little bit of concept of what you guys go through, and I'm very proud that I have a very strong link in my particular family to the police service in particular. My brother's a cop, my sister-in-law's a cop, my other brother-in-law's a cop. So there's a little bit of family connection there, and my daughter was going to be a cop, became a corrections officer for a little while, realised that she couldn't change the world, and decided to get out, and she's doing some other things now, but she keeps circling back and wants to be a police officer. So I'm guessing at some stage I'm probably going to have another cop in the family somewhere along the line. It's a pleasure to be here, of course, because these awards are absolutely fantastic, because they're about recognising people that go above and beyond every single day of their jobs. It's not just, we'll talk about some moments in time today, but these awards don't just come along just for the heck of it. They come along because people look and see the outstanding work that you are doing every single day in the community. How you're not just turning up for that 8 or 9 hours for a shift, you're turning up and going beyond sometimes. And I don't mean in overtime, I mean in doing extra things for people. Things that you never get written up about. It's not the sort of stuff when we see in the media. The media is always prepared there to give us a kick wherever they feel. Sometimes they forget about all the extra stuff people do, and that they do without thinking because they have this compassion to be part of this career, and it's calling for many people. We also have a couple of youngsters in the audience today, who are only just old enough to drive. When you think about that, when we tell their stories a little bit later, and you consider what they're already doing in their very young lives, and we hope in their career trajectory that they end up as first responders as well. We'll acknowledge a little bit of that later, and some of the stuff you'll hear today will be absolutely incredible. You'll hear stories about sea rescues, shark attacks, a wasp attack, some whale research that's been done, people who went out in storms to assist others while their own homes had actually been significantly damaged. You'll hear about paths that are being taken to try and move prisoners onto a better rehabilitation career and perhaps not end back up in jail somewhere along there. That is another significant calling as well. Possible also hear again, as I said, about those who go above and beyond, who just do it as a matter of without thinking. This is the 10th anniversary of these awards, and over the last decade, there have been more than 50 people who have been actively acknowledged for supporting their communities and recognised with the honour roll as finalists. You'll pick up a very particular thread here today. Most of the people who win today are very, very humble. They don't want to talk about their experience. They're not braggers. They're not the kind that go onto Facebook and say, not only take a photo of their meal that they're about to eat, but also don't go and tell people about the wonderful things that they've just done through their day that were just natural for them. I recently heard someone say, silent gratitude isn't very much use to anyone who does a lot for you. And that's why these awards are so good, because we actually get to tell people how important the things that those have done, these wonderful things in our lives, and for complete strangers, and what a significant difference it has made. Before we get going, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on where we gather, but also I'd like to welcome people of all faiths and beliefs and cultures, because we have something very special here in Australia. When you look at the rest of the world, so many people around it are angry, they're fighting, they have this incessant hatred for people. Here, we're able to gather in peace and in harmony. And it's something very, very significant, and something we should never, ever take for granted. We have some acknowledgements today as well from the Queensland Police Service. We're joined by Assistant Commissioners Cherise Pond, Ryan Connors, Craig Weatherly, and Acting Assistant Commissioner Melissa Adams. From the Queensland Police Union, we have a couple of apologies today for Shane Pryor for Dion Reedman, and for Cole Muller. Now, they're probably our little cluster of the very significant officers within our union at the moment. I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag. Cole Muller isn't here today because he's gone to an awards ceremony at Ipswich, and he's recently just resigned as a police officer to take up this full-time role with the union. I don't think Cole knows it, but I've been told by a little bird that he's getting a meritorious service award today for his outstanding contribution to the police. So Cole, we wish you could be here with us, but we understand why you're going to receive a significant award today. We do have Executive Board Member John Shilton, who has joined us here as well today from the Police Union. From the State Emergency Service, Chief Officer Mark Armstrong is here. From Queensland Ambulance Service, Chief Operating Officer Stephen Zombak, Assistant Commissioners Tony Armstrong and Peter Werner, and other members of the QAS Executive Leadership Team and senior officers. Commissioner Stephen Smith is here from the Queensland Fire Department, and Chief Officer of the Rural Fire Service, Ben Millington. Assistant Commissioner Neil Francis and other members of the Executive Leadership Team are also here with some other senior officers. From Queensland Corrective Services, Deputy Commissioner Ursula Roder and Assistant Commissioners Sarah Hyde, Samantha Newman and Kate Petrie. We also welcome from QBANK their Chairman Daryl Morton, QBANK board members, QBANK CEO Byron Fuller. It's very important that you call Byron Byron. For those of you who have been to these awards, you'll understand why. We had an MC one year who didn't call him Byron. Somehow I got the gig to come back, I don't know why. Of course, we've also got all our incredible award finalists and their families and friends that are here as well. Thank you all for being here and being part of this particular day. First responders, as we know, play a very important role in our community. They are having more demand placed upon them more than ever. It seems that the community request our first responders to fix everything in their lives, everything that goes wrong in the community. Their first priority, of course, is always to make us feel safe. If you think about it, if they put a realistic job ad in for our first responders, do you think it puts in things like, you'll do so much overtime that you're driving home and your eyes just sting? Will it put in there that you went to work and someone abused you? You went to work and you saw horrific things. And then at the end of the shift, we ask you to go home and be loving family members. It's a very special career path that you've taken, and we do appreciate it. We do have some housekeeping things before we get underway today. For those of you who want to go to the bathroom throughout the day, we're all adults here, so you're able to get up from the table any time. You don't have to put your hand up or anything like that. Out the doors that we came in, and I believe we've got to head out to the left of where the registration desk was, and there's a set of toilets there. There's also some over near the lifts as well. We ask that you turn your mobile phones to silent, because that's very important, and the world will go on without your phone calling in the next hour or so. You'll be okay. Smokers, you're out of luck and out of the building. So if you do feel the need that you've got to have a lung lolly, you're outside. One important thing too, we have a group of photographers here today that are going to be going around the different tables. Put on your best smiles, and if I can give you a little tip from the Logies, even if you don't win, still smile. All right, you can do that, and it's easy to do. One of the things, I don't know if you all saw these on the way in, at the doorway, did you see these books? One of our award nominees today has crafted this book and also put together a little fridge magnet. If you didn't pick one up on the way in, grab them. Our kind author has donated a whole swag of them for people today. To take home as your outstanding gift for being here today. This book is pretty incredible. It's meant to break down barriers between, I guess, kids and first responders. In this case, this one's about paramedics. Very important. Everyone loves a free gift, so make sure you take it home. And if you do have children, grandchildren or anything like that, read it to them before we have an incident, because when you do have that incident on that particular day, some of these little ideas may come back and make it less daunting. I can speak from personal experience. Recently, my son and his two children were involved in a fairly significant car accident, and the first responders that were there, in particular the paramedics, they made the kids just feel at such ease. It was incredible, because as a parent, he was only preoccupied with the welfare of his children and what had happened to them, and just the way the paramedics went about their job was incredible. So I say thank you very much to all of our paramedics in the audience today. Our sponsors today, of course, are QBank, and I'd like to invite shortly Byron Fuller up on stage to give his address about today's awards. But QBank started in 1964. It started from a note that was written in the QPU Journal suggesting that there should be an organisation put together to allow police officers in particular to be able to afford to buy their own home. What a noble pursuit. I think today it's just as current as what it ever was. I was in Mackay yesterday talking to police there, and there were police officers that cannot find a rental accommodation place to put their head down pretty much anywhere within that community because of the demands set there by mining in particular. We have a police officer who's living in a tin shed. It was the best he could rent. We have another police officer that's living in a hotel room that doesn't have laundry facilities and doesn't have a cooking facility. He's paying nearly $700 a week rent for a one single bed hotel room up there. It's crazy, but they're the demands that are being put on us at the moment. So when you have an organisation like QBank that wants to get out there and try and help our young first responders get into their own homes, it's a very noble pursuit. They're dedicated to the front line. In 2019, QBank, for many of you that may not know, they were designated as an employer of choice because of their ability for their recruitment, for their policies, but also their retention of their staff. So QBank have received some very significant awards that still remain current today. When they have a slogan that says, if your job is to look after Queenslanders, it's our job to look after you, that's a pretty good motto, isn't it, to live by? Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome QBank CEO Byron Fuller. Oh.
Oh dear. Started early, isn't it? Thank you, Darren. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of QBank, I would like to welcome you to the 2024 QBank Everyday Hero Awards. I would especially like to welcome this year's finalists who have travelled from all over Queensland to be here. We also extend our welcome to those who have joined us virtually through our live stream. QBank Everyday Hero Awards provide us with the opportunity to recognise the dedication, sacrifice and tireless efforts of people who keep our community strong during both the good times and the tough moments. For that, we say thank you. Darren mentioned it. This year, it's been 60 years since QBank was founded as the Queensland Police Cooperative Credit Union Limited. It's a mouthful. This is an achievement we are very proud of. We're also very proud of the fact that this is our 10th year of the QBank Everyday Heroes Awards. During this time, we've awarded more than 60 Everyday Heroes and recognised hundreds more people through the nominations process. This year, we have received 171 nominations, and joining us today are 23 finalists across 6 award categories. We will hear their remarkable stories throughout today's events, and some of them will bring tears. I have seen boxes of tissues already on some of the tables. Congratulations to all of you. I now invite you to enjoy the first course of today's meal as we take a short break before starting the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Byron. As you mentioned, we're going to let you enjoy your entree. Keep up the conversation, keep the energy in the room. The food here today, I've been told, is going to be absolutely exceptional. Please hook in, enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll be back shortly for the next part of our proceedings.
understand. Ain't got no time for you and I. Get it right. It's Friday night. Where's the red and white? Let's take it to another level. No time for patience, more time to please you. Just get started. Gonna wait a minute. It's Saturday. I'll be ready to begin. It's Saturday. I'll be ready to begin. I've been thinking maybe you and I take a day, start to build a paradise. Feeling the shortest that the stakes is high. So let's take a little moment, try to get it right. No time for patience, more time to please you. Just get started. What's up?
Okay, welcome back to our online viewers. We're back now. Everyone's had a nice little feed. Got the day underway. Today you're going to hear 23 incredible stories from our finalists. And they're people who have made Queensland communities better every day. There are 6 award categories: the Achievement Award, the Dedication Award, the Young Hero Award, Ownership Award, Excellence Award, and Working Together Award. All of these particular categories underpin the values that the QBANK Everyday Heroes is all about. Our winners today will individually receive $2,000. That will also include for the team categories. They'll also receive $2,000. But they also receive another $2,000 that they can donate to their preferred charity. So $4,000 kick, that's not bad, is it? The amazing part is, in previous years, just about every single recipient, this is how humble they are, pretty much give the entire amount of money to their charity. So again, it underpins about the fact that these people are doing it for the good of the community, not necessarily to make themselves a little bit richer along the way. The awards will be presented today in 2 parts. We'll begin with the Achievement, Dedication and Young Everyday Hero Awards. Then we'll have a bit of a main meal, and we'll go into the Ownership, Excellence and Working Together Awards. I'll call each finalist's name, and if you want to come up onto the stage here, and Byron will meet you and present you with your particular certificate. A little bit of a happy snap there, so if anyone wants to get up and take a picture or anything like that on the iPhone, you're more than welcome to come up and stand at the bottom of the stage and take a photo, and then we'll announce the winner. The first award, QBANK Achievement Award. I'd like to ask Byron to come up onto the stage now, please. This recognises a passionate individual who has delivered outstanding performance and high achievement in their workplace or community, and has inspired and encouraged optimism, enjoyment and fun in those all around them. In no particular order, our first finalist today is Andrew Harper from the Queensland Police Service. Andrew is a high-achieving police officer and has demonstrated unwavering dedication to the Queensland community through his commitment to educating young Australians. He grew up around cars and motorsport and has always had an appreciation for cars. When he joined the police, he had no passion for plainclothes investigations or even being a paperclip counter. He wanted to be in the road policing unit. And he took that knowledge and that ability and decided to set himself a bit of a goal. He established the Learner Driver program. It's the first time it's been set up to tell learner drivers in particular what they will be confronted with when they are stopped by emergency services. And that means, like, being pulled up with red lights and blue lights can be a little bit daunting at times. So he tells them about what to anticipate, what they'll see, what they'll hear, and how they are expected to respond. It also gives them an idea on how to act around particular emergency services if it's the very first time they've ever been pulled up. He also looks at the fatal 5 behaviours that contribute significantly towards the death of young road users. Would you please welcome Andrew Harper? Our next finalist is paramedic Amy Gomes. Amy, are you here, please? I just saw you out in the foyer. She's very shy. I didn't think she was going to get up there for a second. Amy is a dedicated critical care paramedic and author of the children's book we spoke about earlier, What Paramedics Do. It's educating young people around the role of frontline healthcare workers. Amy is a mum and a wife, and she's also raised tens of thousands of dollars for more than 25 charities through her small business, One Little Heart. After 15 years on the job working across Queensland, Amy has first-hand knowledge of the anxieties that children face when confronted with emergency services. This led her to self-publish her own book in late 2023, and it's been pivotal in assisting and starting conversations about paramedics and providing education and reducing anxiety for children. Now, this is very, very important. It's become such a significant and impactful tool that it's now been adapted for an American version. So it's fantastic that that is happening, and that internationally they're recognising the value of this book. What police do. $1 from every book sold goes to former Wiggle Greg Page's charity, Heart of the Nation. And that's about putting defibrillators in community spots where they can be accessed readily. Amy's also pushing for public access AED through the state government to give Queenslanders better access to devices and embed education in schools. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Gomes. Our third finalist is Julie Gilmore from the Queensland Police Service. Senior Sergeant Gilmore has been the primary driver of the Blue Surf program, a joint initiative between the Queensland Police and Our People Matter, facilitated by Surfing Queensland and Surfing Australia. Julie grew up on the beaches of Queensland riding an esky lid. And for those people who don't know what that is, it's a boogie board. She graduated later to surfing and then now enjoys stand-up paddleboarding. She's always felt at peace in the water and thought that surfing would be a natural reaction to be able to help police embrace the challenges that they face with PTSD and stresses in the workplace. The program offers free surfing lessons for QPS members with a focus on helping them to let go of their stress and just be present in the moment and do a little bit of surfing. There's no doubt Julie and her entire Blue Surf Hope team have given countless police officers new strategies to grapple with their mental health challenges that come with their role. Please congratulate Julie Gilmore for us today. I'm told that this category in particular was very hard for our judges to decide, but they have to get to an eventual decision. And the winner of the QBANK Everyday Heroes Award for Achievement is paramedic and author Amy Gomes. Amy, tell us about this book. What was the genesis of the idea for you that you thought there's a gap here that needs to be filled?
So my husband is also a critical care paramedic, and we have, they still exist, 2 children. And we discovered that there was a lot of content that was aimed at probably quite young children. And we know when we attend kids on scene, they can be quite intimidated by us in the uniform. So part of it, there's a lot of research that suggests just having calm discussions with kids at home, even talking about GPs before you go to a general medical appointment can reduce medical anxiety significantly and even medical trauma. So part of it was that, and then it just grew into this, this ability to raise funds for Greg Page's charity. And we've been able to put defibrillators in the community, and this both the money for me and for the charity will go towards Greg's charity too. That's 2 AEDs. And the best thing about the AEDs in the community is 80% of cardiac arrests happen in the home. And so we need to actually be better at putting them outside houses. And we have one on the front of our house for our street, and that's how we'll save lives. So QBank very well may actually save a life with this. So thank you.
Fantastic. Amy, for people that are, I guess as adults, we believe that paramedics, when they turn up, they're there to help, and we understand that. For children, give us a snapshot of when you turn up to everything from a car accident, a house fire, to mum or dad collapsing at home, how kids react when you sort of bang on the door or turn up at the scene.
Yeah, obviously our intention is to support people, and adults understand that, but there's a variety of reasons why we might be there, and we potentially are just associated with that negative interaction. So if they understand, whether it be from meeting paramedics at a school visit or something like that, they're less likely to see us as an adversarial interaction. And then also when they need us next, as they grow through life, they'll be more likely to call upon us in a time of need, which is something that we see sometimes as they get into their teenage years is a bit challenging for them to know that we're always there to help them.
I noticed one line in the book says, sometimes you're just there to hold a hand.
Yes, I think that like 75 to 80% of our work is communication skills and the non-technical skills that we do. So it's not all about how many patients we intubate or, the interventions we do. A lot of it is genuinely about supporting people and listening. So we're very privileged to interact with people on the worst day of their lives sometimes, and the impact that we see isn't always the technical skills we did, it's how we spoke to people and things like that. So there's a lot of mental health cases we attend, and that was part of the motivation for that spread in the book, is that we don't always have to just come to do a skill to actually contribute positively to someone. So
fantastic. It's wonderful that you're perhaps going to get some AEDs out of the money that comes through today, but do you think you'll update a version and put in something about paramedics? Wherever you see them pulled up, it's the best coffee in the suburb?
Yeah. I'll reserve my right to say nothing on that.
Really, thank you very much, Amy. Congratulations. Isn't that a positive thing that money potentially is going to now really and truly save lives somewhere in a suburb? So fantastic. Thank you very much, Amy, and congratulations on such great work. The next category is the QBANK Dedication Award. This award recognises people who have shown extreme dedication to the lives around them by displaying determination and through their strength of character, and they've inspired loyalty in the workplace or their community. Again, our finalists in no particular order. Our first one today is Brett Norris from the Queensland Police Service. Sergeant Brett Norris has been a police officer for almost 4 decades. For the last 23 years, he's worked in the Water Police and is currently the OIC of Mackay Whitsunday Water Police. He works in a very highly specialised area, and over the years, he's been involved in some incredible rescue efforts, including bringing 35 passengers from a stricken vessel on Hook Island to safety during a severe weather event in 2008. He swam aboard that vessel to assist the crew, while 2 rescue helicopters hovered above and extracted the passengers in the largest single civilian helicopter rescue in Australia's history. He was involved in a coordinated effort to rescue a 13-year-old girl who was attacked by a shark in the Whitsundays in 2018, and he brought together all the different emergency faculties there and the services that combined perfectly to not only save that young girl's life, despite losing her leg, but also gave her confidence and kept her calm during the entire rescue operation. Last year, he was also involved in the recovery of the Army's Taipan helicopter that went down in the waters in the Whitsundays, and he's been always there ready to answer the call. He's a passionate advocate for water safety and has unwavering dedication to high-stakes situations. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Brett Norris. Our second finalist is Matt Walker, a volunteer from the Rural Fire Service. Matt is following in the footsteps of his father, who was also a firefighter, and he has a significant drive to give back to the Coomera community. He dedicates every spare minute he has volunteering as the first officer of the Coomera Valley Rural Fire Brigade. Each week he leads a team of 50 volunteers in bushfire mitigation and suppression to help residents protect their properties around the Gold Coast. During the recent storms around the Christmas period there, Matt spent 15 days straight participating in emergency response across the Gold Coast region. During that time, he was helping others, even though his own family home had been significantly damaged and the roof had partially been lifted off. Matt has a passion for driving change for the Rural Fire Brigade and is also an advisor to the Chief Officer on matters of rural fire brigades and how to help volunteer members. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Walker. Our third finalist for this award is Peter Stevens of the Queensland Police Service. Detective Sergeant Peter Stevens has been a long-serving advocate for equality and inclusion in the Queensland Police Service during his 34 years. Serving communities across the state, he's been instrumental in creating opportunities for women across the police service as a mentor, coach and supporter. He is the only male member of the QPS Leading Women's Network Committee. He drives initiatives to benefit his colleagues, including initiating the Fair Work Ombudsman Keeping in Touch Days policy into the QPS through collaboration with Human Resources, Employee Relations and the Queensland Police Union. He has recently driven a project to implement checklists for pregnant employees and their managers and revised duties form after he analysed a statewide survey that highlighted confusion and lack of assistance for members when an employee is pregnant. Congratulations, Peter Stevens. And in light of no drum roll today, our winner is firefighter Matt Walker. Congratulations, Matt. I recently read that someone said you see no greater symbol of humanity than seeing a fire engine tearing down the street with lights and sirens going because you know they're going to help someone. Is that a driver for you?
Yeah, I hope none of my guys go that fast down the road. No, it is. It's actually one of those things when you go and see it, you know that they're going to help the community, especially the yellow trucks. They do a fantastic job. The amount of people out there in the volunteer space, they give up their time every single day for hours on end, days on end, weeks on end, by going to help not just our local community, but the greater community right around Queensland. It's fantastic to know that they can do that.
Tell us about those Christmas storms. Were you at home when your home was damaged? And even though you knew if that was the case, you still answered the call.
Yeah, I was home. We just were sort of packing up from Christmas celebrations with the greater family as well. I had my sister and her boyfriend and fiance, whatever he is, and
that bloke.
Yeah, that bloke's been around for a while. Their children, and yeah, we sort of said, oh, it's probably time we come inside. The lighting's getting a bit bad, and yeah, it's sort of within the space of probably 10 minutes, all hell broke loose at home. The noise that was going around the area was incredible. A few of the kids there, they were just cowered in together. They were actually probably pretty scared. And like after it happened, went and searched the community, made sure everyone was okay around the neighbourhood. Then we went down the station and realised that we had damage down the station, and we were putting plans in together for that. And honestly, during those 2 weeks, I probably, much to the demise of what my wife says, I didn't think too much about my family. I know she was looking after him. She did a fantastic job during those 2 weeks. She was an absolute rock for me. It was more about helping the community. You see that sort of stuff happen on the news. You see it on the news about destruction happens, but when it happens to people that you know, like other property owners losing their homes and things like that, it just brings it right to the edge, and it actually probably tears up a lot of people. A lot of people in our local community were crying during that time. It's crazy.
First responders, you generally turn up moments after things have happened, you know, whether it be the car accident or the fire, the house is already burning or the bush is burning, that sort of stuff. To be in the middle of it when you're hearing roofs lifting, you're hearing trees twisting, snapping and cracking, and I guess, do you feel powerless in that moment? Because there is nothing you can really do, is there? But you know what's going to come as a result of it.
Yeah, I sort of step back away from it and sort of take out any sort of personal feelings in regards to it. And I just want to help out the people who were there, help out their time when it's actually really bad time for them as well. Just want to help them. And that's all it is. I'm just concerned about their welfare and what is best for them and how to make such a bad situation a little bit better for them.
All right. When you're thinking about that, are you thinking about you? When you go home at the end of that day, do you sit down and put the head in the hands and think, oh, crikey, that's what I was immersed in today?
Yeah, there are times that we reflect on that. And my guys in my station, we like to have, sit down at the end of the day after a really bad day. We have a drink and we actually talk about it as well, because it is some of the stuff that we can see each and every day is a lot, and it is good to talk about it. And I say that to my guys, whether it's talking about within ourselves, within our station, using our peer support officers, or go having a chat to your family about it. Just understand what you've done to help that community or help that person in the community for the day.
What will this award help you achieve?
Oh, geez, I got asked that the other day as well, and I'm really humble about getting this award. Actually, I don't do it for any sort of awards as well. I just do it for the love of it, to help the community. But I believe that it will go a long way to show the community what we actually do for them as well. That's what we're all about. I think part of the thing is the mitigation as well. There's a lot going forward after the storm as well. We're still doing it. We were supposed to be doing a hazard reduction burn tomorrow for a property owner who had a lot of damage to their house, to actually reduce that fire risk as well. So this award and some of the money that we'll be receiving will go to help us with that.
Thanks very much, Matt. Congratulations. And it's nice to know that that money's going into those yellow trucks. For those of you, I don't know if you're from the disjointed parts of Queensland, but those storms at Christmas time on the Gold Coast were just incredible, the way that they hit. And like Matt said, everyone was sitting there feeling like a little fat pig after sort of Christmas lunch and dinner, and then those storms hit, and I think the ferocity caught everybody by surprise. And you can still drive up into Mount Tamborine and that sort of area now, and you can literally see through the hills where the path of the storm went, but just through the sheer damage. It's amazing. And so many businesses were ruined. Families lost homes that have been in, their possession for generations. And these guys turned up every single day. It was just amazing to see the yellow trucks out in the community doing anything and everything to help everybody. So you may live in Mount Isa, you may be in a far other place of Queensland, but to know that you can call on those resources at any time, and they do it for nothing. It's just amazing. QBANK Young Hero Award. This is our third award for today, obviously. And many of these people haven't finished school, and as I said earlier, have only just probably in the first couple of months of getting their own driver's licence. They've shown determination and strength of character when overcoming barriers, and show innovation in their community as well. Our first nominee today is Emily Schofield. 17-year-old Emily Schofield is being recognised for her bravery during an emergency situation at a Girl Guides district camp in Rockhampton earlier this year. Emily was on the riverbank helping younger Girl Guides exit canoes and kayaks when she noticed a group of 3 guides that had under 8-year-olds as part of their group, and their leader got into trouble on the other side of the river. They drifted into trees and they were capsizing, and many of them were struggling for help and asking for assistance. Emily leapt into action. She jumped into the river and swam 2 of the girls to safety. Now, anyone know about Rockhampton? There's these big lizards in the water up there, so that's pretty brave. The other young guide was taken to shore by the group leader, and she had been stung 13 times by a swarm of wasps that just happened to be in the tree that she was seeking rescue in. So imagine the excruciating pain of 13 wasps stinging you all at once. She assisted that young injured girl to the roadside where the vehicle was, and also at that time, the young girl guide had live wasps still trapped in her uniform, etc., and was still stinging her. So Emily did a wonderful job to try and keep her calm, keep her collected, and also provide immediate assistance to get her some safety and some relief as well. Her calmness under such incredible circumstances was praised by others there on the day, and she set an example for her fellow Girl Guides. Emily Schofield. Our second finalist is Gemma Philippi. Gemma is another Girl Guide. She joined 3 years ago, and she's been very active in all sorts of parts of Girl Guides in her district. During her time in Rangers, she took part in a district-wide initiative to donate backpacks for foster children. She's cooked meals for donations at homeless shelters and participated in an initiative collecting Easter eggs for Meals on Wheels and then personally delivering those eggs. Gemma has also written Christmas cards for Meals on Wheels recipients and elderly people. She's collected school supplies such as books and stationery for Christmas gifts, and she's also donated those to rural schools and assorted plastic bottle caps so that they can help use that to make wheelchairs. Gemma is the first person to volunteer for a task and is always willing to help out. This includes participating in fundraisers such as sausage sizzles during her free time, and she's shown herself to be a generous and reliable ranger guide. Gemma Philippi. Our third finalist is Allegra Nutley. At 17 years old, Allegra has made diverse contributions to surf life saving, conservation, citizen science and research, fundraising and mentoring. Allegra was stung herself by an irukandji and transferred to hospital by a helicopter, which in fact ended up saving her life. She now aspires to become a Westpac helicopter lifesaver while she's at university. Allegra was a junior club Nippers captain at the Surfers Paradise Surf Life Saving Club. She's helped manage that particular program for younger Nippers there. She's participated in charities for cancer, suicide prevention, community groups and more. Her passion is conservation and she is a team leader for marine conservation research organisation Humpbacks on High Rises. So she also attends the SeaWorld Whaleboat and has overseen groups of 3 citizen scientists, ensuring rigorous data collection and adherence to protocols, and her research has been nationally recognised. Ladies and gentlemen, she's also, hang on, she's not finished yet. I saw a lot more stuff here about surf life saving, but then Allegra is also a STEM mentor at Queensland Academy, where she facilitates the transition of young primary school students to high school, promoting inclusivity and fostering interest in STEM fields. Please congratulate Allegra Nutley. And our winner today is Gemma Filippini. G'day, Gemma. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're packing a lot into those couple of years of life already. What's the driving factor there?
Well, I'm actually a foster child, so a lot of what we've done for foster care came from that. So, and then the wheelchairs, I've got a couple of disabled siblings. So, again, a lot of that comes from those sorts of people. So,
Tell us about the bottle tops and the wheelchairs. How does that work?
so they melt them down and make little parts that they can use in wheelchairs. They also can do it with prosthetics. You can get prosthetic arms and legs, also made out of the bottle caps. So
Most people, when they recycle, toss the bottle caps and they keep the glass or the plastic or whatever. What should we be doing then? Should we start rethinking what we do with those bits?
we should it shouldn't all just go to landfill. It should be being used for people who do need that stuff. Obviously it's quite expensive at the moment because not enough people are donating them, but I think if more people just kept them, and if you look online, there'll be multiple places where you can drop them off. If you live anywhere near Ascot, Hamilton Clayfield Ranger Guides collects them. Um, so yeah.
For you, looking into your crystal ball, what's the future hold for Gemma?
I don't know. No clue. Graduating high school for a start, but other than that, uni. And then,
Yeah, just one step, just the high school to start from there. Do you think that, when you stand in a room like this today and you see so many first responders, is there an appeal for that line of work maybe for you, or do you think you've got other charity work and goals that you might be able to achieve?
I think I would do more charity work. I quite enjoy charity work. It's quite rewarding, as I'm sure working as first responders is. But I see myself doing more charity work.
Congratulations, Gemma. Thank you very much. We love what you're doing for the community. Your Girl Guides work, and in particular, that bottle top stuff. Fantastic. We've just got a separate little section here, Byron, if you want to take a seat for just a moment. We've heard all about our winners here today and the amazing things that they're doing. But I want to bring to you now a little bit of a story. And we understand here that while things are important to us right here, right now, in our immediate circle, there is a greater picture of things going on. Sometimes there's triumph and then there's tragedy, of course. Close to the heart of the QBANK family is one of these victims, Brenton Estorff. You probably never heard his name. You probably may never have met Brenton. But he died a hero. He was fatally shot protecting his family during a home invasion where his family was living in the United States. He grew up on the Sunshine Coast, left to go to the US. He finished his schooling there, studied at college, played basketball, American football, and he worked at a car rental company. He met a beautiful girl, Ange, and they had 2 children. Life was going pretty good for Brenton. In 2019, he was at home and his family had spoken to Brenton, and it was a great conversation. It was just a conversation about general life. Not long after that, Brenton's parents received a very distressing phone call. It came from Ange. And they were immediately worried about their son and what would happen to their young family. The phone line was disconnected. It took another 24 hours for them to realise what had happened. Ange has told them that their house was broken into by 3 assailants. Brenton woke when he heard the glass door of their home being smashed. And like any protective father, he jumped out of bed to go and see what all the trouble was. At that moment, he was shot in the left side of his torso. A gun was then pointed at Ange and their son. Brenton, despite his injuries, continued to defend his family. He wrestled the offenders away from his wife and kids. Another shot was fired. It struck Brenton straight in the heart, and he died. Today, his loved ones are here with us today, which is fantastic. And they're almost everyday heroes in the way that they've continued on with their life, even though their personal hero has passed away. He didn't hesitate to risk his life. He protected what was precious to him. He protected what we take as an ideal in our communities, that your home should be sacred. I'd now like to ask his father to come forward and have a quick chat to us and just remind everybody about the beautiful work that you do and the impact that it has on the lives of the victims that are drawn into this. Matt, please come up. I know this isn't your thing to do this sort of stuff in public, but why is it important that you need these people to know what happened to your son?
I think the worst thing is about all of this for us as a family is that I know it was done in the US, but he was an Australian citizen. And for us as a family, we just always want to recognise that this is where his roots came from. This is his family area. And the unfortunate thing is we don't have him here today to celebrate a lot of the stuff that we like to do together as a family.
Tell us about that terror of you get a frantic phone call, you realise something's obviously terribly gone wrong, but then nothing for 24 hours. You would think in this modern day and age, somehow someone would be able to reach out to you and give you a snapshot.
Yeah, I think that the saddest part exactly is that not knowing anything for the first 24 hours, knowing exactly what you said, there's no word from anyone. We didn't have any family over there, so it was hard for us to get any contact because all the phone numbers of Brenton's and Ange's, they confiscated all the phones and everything else. So we had no way of finding out exactly what had gone on. And I guess at the end of the day, I think that's the most tragic part about anything is that it takes a long time to get the information. And the saddest thing is that you have a fair idea something's really tragic until someone makes a call to you and tells you.
I'm not particularly sure what your career was, before this moment we're here today, but do you have an appreciation for what these men and women are doing every single day out there?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, I know this is a bit of a different award to what other people have achieved throughout their careers and what they're doing from day-to-day life, which is, if we don't have those people out there right now, we wouldn't live in a nice, safe environments.
Mate, when we lost Brenton, what did our community as a whole lose?
We lost a person that was very community orientated. He spent a lot of time on the sunny coast. He was doing a lot of coaching of children in basketball. That was his favourite little sport out there. And because of that, the Maroochydore Basketball Association, we have an award of the Quiet Achievers Award after Brenton out there. And then also he's got another award after him in Virginia, where he used to go to high school before he went to college over there, which is a scholarship award for him over there as well. So he was well recognised, and he did a lot of good things that, well, I'm a father. I can be a bit biased on that. But yeah, look, he did a lot of good things for many, many people out there. He was one of those types of people. It was a big loss for us.
It happened in the US, but it's still just as relevant here, isn't it? I mean, we don't have the issues with guns that they do in the United States. I still can't understand why they don't do certain things about that. That's another debate for another time. But I think for us, the gun violence is just absolutely horrific, isn't it? And something we hope never occurs here.
We need to keep the guns out of our country here, because what we've seen over there, even when Brenton lived over there, because he was a foreigner, he could never get a gun licence anyway. Not that he wanted one. And we need to keep our societies and our whole country, not just Queensland. Let's keep the guns out of the place. You know, that there's a purpose for them. I understand that, but not everyone has to walk around with a gun on themselves.
Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you to your family that have come along today. I know this is very hard in every single aspect to even be here to talk about this sort of stuff, but thank you for opening the door and sharing with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'd just like to say also to QBank, thank you very much for inviting us today. I'd like to thank a friend of mine, Mr. Andy Henderson, as well.
Thanks, mate. It's interesting that I'm just going to talk about that gun issue there for a moment. I was the US correspondent for the Nine Network for quite a while. And within probably 2 weeks of being there in the United States, I had reporters from the local networks asking me if I had a gun yet. I said, sorry, what? And they said, well, you go to all these different places where there's hurricanes and there's things going wrong. Surely you need a gun. Well, mate, you have no concept of what Australians are like. That is just so foreign to us. But to them, it was just a natural thing that I should have one in my car, I should have one hidden in the house, and I should also be carrying one with me at all personal times, like out and about, but no matter what I'm doing. It was just bizarre thinking. Not long after that, I ended up doing a story in Utah, which is quite unusual, where they were training ladies that were librarians to carry pistols, with the view that if a active armed shooter was in the school, they had to mentally get over the fact that they would have to shoot a child. What sort of society is that? Little grey-haired old ladies being trained to shoot kids. Just nuts. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's break. Let's have a great main meal, and we'll come back and finish off with the rest of the awards.
So who we to let it go to waste? Is it okay to share with you what's on my mind? I just wanna move with you. All I really want is to spend some time with you. I just wanna move. This connection's so exciting.
Every moment feels so new. Show me all the way you look at, and I won't fight 'cause I lose. Oh, you're supposed to be in this space and time. So who will you let it go to waste? Is it okay to share with you what's on my mind? I just wanna hold with you. All I really want is to spend some time with you. I just wanna make a move with Feels good, this must be right. When the fire hits our eyes, make that cry. Boy, hey, hey. Once you start to look alive, that feeling you can't deny. Hold on tight. Is that how you really want? Is that feeling what you needed? Let me know. Hey, do you like the way that feels? If you found what you've been looking for, let me know. To what you when the night feels so out.
Easier said than done, trying to be the one on. It's so hard to not be hard on yourself. How do they all believe? I cannot even see. Believe that I had way back when. I know that you get so used to it. Always living in regret. Your dreams never leave your head. But when you talk to me, I can see the light shining so bright it is blinding. Just let it out. You feel it, that automatic shiver in your spine, shiver in your spine. Darkness, you have seen it, heavy on the heart. Look to the light. Oh, release the feeling. It'll send you out space. Nothing like your happiness. Oh, open up the ceiling. You think you don't deserve it, but you are so damn worth it, baby. You think you don't deserve it, but you are so damn worth it, baby. You think you don't deserve it, but you are so damn worth it, baby. We've all got that feeling. I can see you hurting. You don't think you deserve it, but baby, you are worth it. Just open up the ceiling. Come on, let the love in. 'Cause baby, you are worth it. We've all got that feeling. I can see you hurting. You don't think you deserve it, but baby, you are worth it. Just open up the ceiling. Come on, let the love in. 'Cause baby, you are worth it. Oh, I know you feel it. That automatic shiver in your spine. Darkness, you have seen it. Heavy on the heart. Look to the light. Yeah. Oh, release the feeling. It'll send you out space. Something like your happiness. Oh, open up the ceiling. You think you don't deserve it, but you are so damn worth it, baby. We've all got that feeling. I can see you think you don't deserve it, but you are so damn worth it, you are worth it. Just open up the ceiling. Right, come on, let you think you don't deserve it. You are so damn worth it, baby. We've all got that feeling. I can see you hiding. You don't think you deserve it. Baby, you are worth it. Just open up the ceiling. Come on, let the love in. 'Cause baby, you are worth it, baby.
so many times. Tried to make you mine. I tried so many times. Tried to make you mine. Joy and happiness, things I cannot find. Joy and happiness, things I cannot find. Love you, baby, can't do without you. 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 Need you, baby. Need you,
Golden on your face, though. I follow you place, though. Stop the hesitation. Time for concentration and situation. You're the motivation. I'm growing impatient. Baby, won't you say something? Yeah. 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 Golden on your face, though. I follow your place, though. Stop the hesitation. Time for concentration and situation. You're the motivation. I'm growing impatient. Baby, would you say something? Say something, baby. Say something. I can tell you're breaking, baby. Breaking. I don't wanna break up, baby. Break up, but for you, I'll do. Golden on your face, though. I follow your place, though. Stop the hesitation. Time for concentration and situation. You're the motivation. I'm growing impatient. Baby, would you say something? Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Give me time, yeah. You like taste the wine, yeah. Don't want phone to chime, yeah. If it ain't your line, yeah. If it ain't your line, yeah. So we gon' be just fine. Yeah, 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 yeah.
She pressing me for the bridle. I don't know, I don't. What is the rush for the title? I don't know, I don't. I don't wanna move too fast. Why don't we just make this last? Slow it down or we might crash. Crash. She wanna be, I wanna see. Why don't we? We just take our time. He wanna be, I wanna see. Why don't we? We just take our time.
All right, we're gonna keep this thing going. We'll be here all night. So you can take your time. We're gonna take our time. I'm definitely gonna take my time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring on a magnificent guest, the beautiful, the wonderful, the talented, Ali.
You want it all, no need to rush to see. Let your guard down, down, down. Release your feet. Why don't we just take it slow? Who knows where this could go? We should just let this grow, grow.
She wanna be, I wanna see. Why don't we? We just take our time. We just take our time.
He wanna be,
I wanna see.
why don't we?
We just take our time. We just take our time.
Oh, yeah.
Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush on what we can't see. Don't rush on what we could be. Don't rush the energy. Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush on what we can see. Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush the energy. Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush on what we can't see. Don't rush on what we could be. Don't rush the energy. Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush on what we can see. Don't rush on what we can be. Don't rush, just take our time.
Okay, everybody, we're going to continue on with the last group of awards here this afternoon. Hopefully you've all got nice little full bellies there. Enjoyed your little lunch and some more conversations. It's good to see you all chatting and getting to know everybody at your tables. It's a wonderful thing. Byron's back up, so that means that, of course, we're going to have some more awards handed out. Our next series of awards starts with the QBANK Ownership Award. This award recognises an individual who's demonstrated empowerment and integrity in their workplace or the community, have taken ownership of a difficult situation, and have provided guidance and advice to those in need. Again, our nominees in no particular order. We'll start with Tracy Taylor from Queensland Corrective Services. Tracy Taylor is the Manager of Education Services for Queensland Corrective Services, overseeing 16 correctional centre education teams. Tracy's work is creating employment opportunities for prisoners. She's also involved in hosting career expos, where prisoners can speak to prospective future employers and explore what a life with a career free of crime can actually look like. Tracy says she doesn't feel like a hero, but is passionate about what she does and has a supportive team of people who get behind her ideas and her initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Taylor. Our next finalist is Lachlan Patterson from the Queensland Fire Department. Lachlan is a caring, dedicated member of the Queensland Fire Department who goes above and beyond for his Mount Cotton community. He sees great value in educating his community to prepare for fires and protect themselves in emergencies. Lachlan has also taken on a peer support officer role, which involves anything from assisting new recruits learning the ropes to checking in on the most experienced firefighters, particularly after significant events. The person who nominated Lachlan said, "He is an asset to Queensland and a true embodiment of everything a great firefighter should be." Please congratulate Lachlan Patterson. The third ownership finalist is Zach Tilbury from Queensland Health and the Queensland Ambulance Service. Zach is what is known in the industry as a triple treat. He's a paramedic nurse, a midwife, and also does multiple jobs with qualifications, working with the Queensland Ambulance Service, Queensland Health and the Royal Flying Doctor Service. He's touching just about every corner of the state to provide care for patients with hospitals and rural emergency situations. While on a secondment in northwest Queensland with the RFDS in late 2023, Zach performed some significant rescues, including an interagency retrieval of a rural remote motorcycle rider that occurred 3 hours northwest of Mount Isa. He assisted that patient with traumatic injuries and had a doctor provide high-level care alongside himself from a remote airstrip, eventually allowing that patient to walk away from the incident. Zach's swift actions and compassionate approach have made a significant impact on those in need. Please congratulate Zach Tilbury. And the winner today is Tracy Taylor. Tracy, tell us about educating prisoners. Is it simple?
No, absolutely not. And we have no technology, so, it's offline personal devices. So there's a lot of challenges involved in educating prisoners. How we do it.
How difficult is that when so many work environments these days are based on having an awareness of how to be computer literate and all those types of devices? How do you do it when you can't really let them touch, feel, use all that?
Oh, no, they're using the laptops. They just don't have that internet connection. So all their assessments and everything like that's done on a laptop, and then we download it, upload it, and send it off to the universities and training organisations for them.
Give us a snapshot of some of your success stories.
Oh, I remember being at Barallan once, and this man came running up to me and he said, Miss, are you really the manager of education? I said, yes, I am. Thank you. And he just kept thanking me. He said, I walked in here an uneducated man. I've done my language literacy and numeracy. I've done my tertiary preparation program, and I'm just about to finish my second degree. That's phenomenal. He walked in there, he couldn't read and write, and he walked out the door with 2 degrees. We won't see him again.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's the beautiful part, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The fact that you never see or hear from him again is the best part of the story.
We don't want repeat business.
Can we take it to another step? Are there things that you still see that are possible that could be done to make things even better again?
We're making those possibilities come true. So, when I walked in the door about 4.5 years ago, I had a long list of things that I wanted to implement. And I've just been really lucky to have the support of my director and my assistant commissioner and, just supporting the passion that I have for changing lives, really.
What do you say to those people in the community that say they believe anyone in custody like that should be in a cold, dark hole and not really get any advantages in any way, shape or form? How do you snap them out of that to think about what you're doing?
Community safety. So, they eventually are going to walk out of our gates. So we want them to be set for success. We want them to be able to gain sustainable employment, have a home, and, with those sort of things in place, far more chance of success than going back to a life of crime.
Congratulations. Thank you very much for what you do in our community, folks. Our next award is the QBANK Excellence Award. It recognises those who have shown innovation, have been independent and forward-thinking, and have shown excellence in their workplace or in their community. Our first finalist today is Tristan Colio, but Tristan can't be with us here today, unfortunately. Tristan is representing the Maori and Samoan cultures involved with the SES. He's an advocate for improved diversity within the SES and is proud to share his culture with the people that he serves. His Polynesian heritage is valuable to the SES and has helped Tristan provide unique assistance on jobs and encourage others from his culture to join and make a difference. He's not here with us, but please still congratulate Tristan for us. Our second finalist in this excellence category is Jade Marshall from Queensland Health. Jade is a registered nurse with Queensland Health in the emergency department. She's the first point of call in critical incidents where quick decision making needs to happen. She's currently working in the Hervey Bay community and has been involved in community health initiatives with a focus on inclusion, support and wellbeing, including assisting the men's walk and talk group, encouraging men to improve their own mental health, supporting the All Abilities futsal team, fostering inclusivity in sports, and weekly volunteers making breakfast with the J&T's Homeless Support Initiative. Please congratulate Jade Marshall. Our third finalist is Dylan Harrigan from the Queensland Ambulance Service. Born and raised in Cooktown, Dylan is an Aboriginal man working and studying in his home community. His cultural knowledge is pivotal to what he does, allowing him to support Indigenous patients and their families. He's also actively creating culturally safe environments by educating and guiding his non-Indigenous colleagues, helping them better understand the culture, community and people. During the severe weather event in Cairns earlier this year, while his colleagues travelled south to support, Dylan provided crucial assistance to evacuate the very small town of Wujal, which was one of the hardest hit areas during Tropical Cyclone Jasper. Dylan went above and beyond his responsibilities and duties to ensure community care was delivered during these times of very high stress. Please congratulate Dylan Harrigan. Now this is going to be difficult if Tristan wins because he can't jump up and down. But the winner today is Dylan Harrigan. This way to so it's nice with the camera. Dylan, tell us about Wudjil Wudjil. Were you there when the cyclone actually hit, or just came in the aftermath?
I came in the aftermath. I was not there. I was in Cooktown, but everyone in Wudjil Wudjil is related to me. So that's 400 people.
You haven't got to give them all birthday presents, do you?
No. But when the rain came just before Christmas, it's generally just wet season, and but it was more than just a wet season. We were inundated with the biggest flood we ever had in history, and it was just phenomenal. So yeah, I was just thinking about all my friends and families down in that region, and obviously we copped a lot up in Cooktown. So we got up that next day and we found out that the disaster was absolutely horrendous.
There were some amazing pictures that came out of Wudjil Wudjil at the time. For those that maybe don't recall, the water rose so fast out of the river that the people went to the community health facility to try and seek some salvation from the water, and it ended up flooding itself, and the ambulance actually ended up full of water, and the community staff that were there at the hospital sat on top of the ambulance and the roof of the hospital to escape the floodwater, and trees were floating past them, and when the water went down, those trees ended up on the roofs of houses. It was complete devastation, wasn't it? Give us an idea of when you went into that town. I'm guessing it didn't look like what it was when you'd been there in the past.
It absolutely changed, obviously. We never thought a town on a hill would be inundated by a lot of rain, but also there was a lot of landslide as well. So just imagine middle of the night, it caught everyone by surprise. So we had a lot of people sitting on roofs and cut off from communication as well. So some of those people didn't get into Cooktown for about 3 days later. So I knew they were coming in very exhausted and tired, but the water level, my uncle said it was creeping up by the minute in front of his face. So it was like, yeah, coming towards this house, and that's it. We've got to start moving. So, and this is around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
The work that you do, making people culturally aware from both sides, I guess, of the community, how important is that to understand, from some of your non-Indigenous colleagues, to understand when they go to someone's property to help them, how important it is to have an understanding between both of you?
Yeah, we tend to have a chat, open conversation. We lay it out on the table. If you don't know, and you don't ask silly questions because you're learning. And where I come from, our culture is still strong. We still speak our language, and we still abide by what our laws are, and that's priority. We have a balance that our law and also our mainstream education these days that we try and implement. But with my work colleagues, they're good people. They come up and they want to learn as well, and they want to give as much as they can, as I do, to the community. So it's all about coming together and working together.
When you go back home, how important will this award be as recognition in the community, but also to take things to another level? Do you think it will inspire other young Indigenous people perhaps to join the first responders within their own community?
Absolutely, that's one of my priorities, but also all young kids, no matter what background they are. We are a small community. We all help each other up there. It's not just Cooktown and Wudjil, it's all the other little communities around us that we all come together in hard times. And like I say, there are a lot of good young up and coming kids coming up, and I want to put back into the community and help them.
Fantastic. Congratulations, mate. Please go home and hold that award high. The Working Together Award. It's the final award of today, and it recognises an individual or team who have demonstrated and encouraged outstanding teamwork, trust, fairness, respect, and diversity in the workplace or their community. The first finalist for today is Jess Henry from the Queensland Police Service and her husband, Adam Henry. This husband and wife duo are not Batman and Robin, but they hold weekly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes for all emergency service workers to help improve their physical and mental health and promote resilience and camaraderie. Jess has been a police officer for 18 years and Adam served with the Royal Australian Air Force for 21 years. They host this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class with a variety of techniques. Some of those techniques may be used against them in the street, and the service members are now better equipped to de-escalate scenarios and keep people safe. Often after their classes, it's followed up by a coffee catch-up so that they can actually sit down and talk about even things like mental health amongst their friends and colleagues, and people travel from the Gold Coast and Ipswich to take part. Please congratulate Jess and Adam. Our next team of finalists are the Roma Community Corrections team. This includes Emily Rose Smiley, Maggie Fisher, Judith Humphrey, and Natalie Tweed. Unfortunately, Judith can't be with us here today, but we're here to welcome Emily, Maggie, and Natalie up to the stage as well. This team are from the Roma Community Corrections Group, and they organised and hosted the Roma Candlelight Vigil in honour of Domestic Violence Prevention Month in May 2024. Their efforts brought the entire community together, and their goal was to raise awareness and foster a supportive environment for the community. One of the most powerful moments of their event was a speech from a domestic violence survivor, and it helped break the silence and stigma that surrounds domestic violence. The mother of two stood beside her two children to deliver her speech in front of 38 white crosses, each one of those representing a life lost to domestic violence from January to May 2024. It was a daunting reminder. Please congratulate Emily, Maggie and Natalie. Our last team of finalists are Daniel Burton and Chelsea Beardmore. The Queensland Police Service duo work out of St George. And Chelsea was born and raised in St George. Chelsea is a trusted member of this community with a deep understanding of the importance of fishing in maintaining cultural traditions, rituals and storytelling. The pair started the Blue Lures program, a free fishing event for kids aged 8 to 17, aimed at high-risk youth in the First Nations community. Did it dent? No, it's all good. You can fix it with fishing lures. Wrap some fishing wire around it, you're right. And they teach kids fishing skills and foster open and friendly conversations with local police officers. And it involves not only getting to catch some fish, but also a barbecue, some prizes, and often they give away a rod and reel. The program has already had a positive impact in the town, with 40 young people attending each session, and has contributed to an overall reduction in crime for the 2024 calendar year. Please congratulate Daniel and Chelsea. And the winner of the 2024 QBANK Working Together Award is Daniel Burton and Chelsea Beardmore. Chelsea, how important is fishing in your community?
It's very important, especially with the locals. So every day you'll see people down there fishing every day. So it's very important, especially culturally as well. So yeah,
Everyone trying to get the big cod, is that what they're after? Or?
they can try, but
How simple is this idea? Yet sometimes the most simplest ideas become the best, don't they? I mean, when you go and talk to kids and say, "Hey, do you want to come fishing?" What's their reaction?
oh, it's great. When we first started the program, Dan actually was on patrol and he drove past over the bridge down the river, and everyone was down there fishing already. So he had the idea of starting a program where we could just join in with them. So we're talking to them side by side instead of face to face in a more difficult situation.
When you turn up to incidents or you go to different community groups and things like that afterwards, after you've done these types of lessons, what's the reaction from kids? Do they recognise you from part of that program, and does it make things just a little bit easier?
Yeah, it does. Even just like walking down the street, you get the kids coming up to you saying hello, like when's the next Blue Lures session happening? I'm sure it helps Dan a lot more. So Dan deals with the jobs more often. I'm more of a community engagement person, but yeah, I think it works out pretty good. Yeah.
Dan, did you ever think joining the cops you'd become almost a professional fisherman?
No, I'd like to imagine that I was a professional fisherman before joining the job, but yeah, my wife would tell me otherwise. No, I didn't think that it falls under the description of being a police officer. So, but yeah, the longer we spent out there, so I've been out there with 12 months now with my wife, the more we realised how much of a cultural significance it is just in their day-to-day lives, and how we could use that as a great sort of a great bridge and something that we could use to drop that barrier between police being just the enforcers and and the community itself. So it's been fantastic.
When you went to the boss and said, "Hey boss, I got this idea, I'm going to take kids fishing," how did that go down?
My wife or the
no. That's your real boss. Not the real boss, your work boss, shall we say? Yeah.
Work boss, right? Professional. Yeah, no, it was really well received. We got a lot of support from Megan, who is in the detective side at St George. So she saw the potential and has done a lot with us to get the program up and running behind the scenes. So yeah, the station itself and the region have been very supportive with getting on board for this program and helping us do it elsewhere. So yeah, it's been really, really good, the backing that we've had to get it up off the ground.
Tell us the reality when it comes down to hard facts. We mentioned there that the crime rates have actually dropped amongst your youth offenders out there. How significant is that I guess the arrests aren't happening, or the kids, are they literally better behaved?
Yeah, I would say there's a large majority of kids that are sort of teetering on the edge of falling into that trap of reoffending. I'd say we've definitely had a lot of kids draw back from that edge and come in a different light to the Blue Lures program, or just become better role models for their younger brothers and sisters who are now coming. So yeah, we just try and do what we can with it. I think obviously it's a big problem that everyone's trying to get on top of at the moment. I think these type of programs are great initiatives to assist police liaison officers and other emergency services to keep that rapport with the younger community.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Just out of a quick idea here, give us an example of the biggest fish you've caught. Just show us, because a fisherman always tells a good tale.
Well, Dan's probably caught one.
Yeah.
Yep, he's a pro.
It's Chelsea's birthday today too, so I just dog her in for that. Yeah.
Great birthday present.
Yeah, they're perfect birthday present. How good's that? To all those people watching online in St George, it's a birthday. Congratulations. Thanks, guys. Enjoy that award and hopefully take it back, and it'll be another boost for the community. That's the finalisation of our categories today, but there's still more in store. We're going to have a little bit of break, a little something sweet for you to have now before you head off, and then we'll wrap things up just a little while soon. But if you are an award recipient or an award nominee, please don't rush away and head away, because we need you to hang around for some photos up here on the stage before you do go. So if you do have to get away for a critical time thing, give us a headshot or give us a yell so we know that we can grab a photo before you do split. Thanks very much. Enjoy your desserts. They're all coming out now, and we'll catch up shortly.
Comienza bailando, dame fuego, me llenan por dentro, prohibido, y escapado, y no es un mi china prohibido y escapado, ignorando
Did fly, want to take, want to fall. Ooh, you turned me in your past. You became what you are. It's on the top of the morning. Got out of time and killed it. I'm ready for it. Your body's gonna feel it. And I want to explore it. Now I just wanna, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna see. Look at what you're doing to see. Pick up the pace, pick up the bass. We're on the way, we're on the way. I contemplate the celebration. Charge it to the year we're making. Consider me for your consideration. Cause I've been looking for a new creation. Footloose, I forget the lacing. Really hoping you enjoy the chase. I didn't think that your body, that silly little veil that I wouldn't spotty. You came to give me hell, now I'm playing with fire. Now I just wanna, let's talk about it, let's talk about it, yeah. Let's talk about it, let's talk about it, yeah. Let's talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about whatever you wanna see. Tell me what you wanna see. Look at what you're doing to me. When the beat goes live, that's what we go. If it just confide in my ego. When the beat go live, that's what we go. If it all goes right, that's what we go. When the beat go live, that's what we go. If it all goes right, that's what we go. If it all goes right, that's what we go. Whatever you wanna be, tell me what you wanna see. Look at what you're doing to me. Oh, I think I'm stuck in a trance, slowing down every hand of the hour. I'm watching you move. Take control when you take it to the floor. Baby, let me know you don't gotta play cool. Breathe a little deeper, get a little deeper. Part of the procedure. It's really nice to meet ya. You can say what you mean. Let's forget the dramatics. Let's forget the dramatics.
We're up losing time. I hop into my state of mind, whispering only words of hope till stop knowing comes to us. We're all stepping out on great love and understanding. I shed my loneliness to go, willing to mind you and yours to follow. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Bending the wind with the ones you love, right? Standing tall just to see it all. Here I'm coming back from sitting in the darkness. Love that's running from face, but you know we needed to change.
Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility. Acceptance is the key, my love. Need your flexibility.
Words are like a song on the radio, stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. She'll only say what she thinks you want to hear. You hope that you will notice, but you won't. That you could give her what the others don't. She'll make you believe it if it will keep you near. Stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. Stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. Love her just for now. There you go looking for her again. But how many before you have there been? Do you still believe that you're the only one that tries? She'll tease you with the body that she loves. As long as she is getting what she wants. And you lead it up as she feeds you lies. Stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. Stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. Love her just for now. Why do you wanna be in love, wasting your time? You need a little sanity. You've had enough, wasting your time. Stuck in your head with nothing meaningful. The words are like a song on the radio. Love her just for now. You've had enough.
If I could just get your attention for a few secs, we'll wrap things up here. And then we'll get into some good stuff with some photographs. Just so everyone's got a treasured memory to take home. It's better than a speed camera photo. This has been a wonderful opportunity for me to host these awards. They've always been a great day out. QBank have been quite innovative with these awards over the previous years. We did some in Townsville one year, and we've been here a couple of times in a couple of different venues. And it's always a very good day because you just see people interacting from all the different services. You're also busy in the hours that you clock on. It's quite intense while you're there. You don't always get the opportunity to actually talk to each other in a relaxed environment. So something like this is quite good. And the fact that there's so many knockers out there in the community that are ready to have a go at everybody at any stage, and so many, we like to call them in a polite way, citizen journalists that like to record every single thing that you do and then post it online along with the food that they're eating. And where they're about to walk and their latest sportswear that they're wearing. But they also like to put up everything that you do, and they don't always put the full incident up. So it's great that we can have an environment where your efforts every single day are acknowledged and for what you do in our community. I'd like to ask the QBank CEO, Byron Fuller, to come back up and just wrap everything up for us for the day. And then I've got a couple of last words.
Thank you, Darren. Look, I'm going to be really quick. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. I think this is a very special day and a very special occasion. I've been speaking to a lot of people in the room, and I think you all feel the same way. It's a really good day, and thank you very much for showing up and turning up. Two, I'd like to thank all the finalists and congratulate all the winners. Once again, some really, really wonderful stories that have been told today, and they're very, very enjoyable and moving. Three, to Darren. I know he doesn't want me to thank him, but I am going to thank him. Wonderful MC, and really does add to this occasion for us. So thank you, Darren. And four, there is a very, very big group of people that sit behind this event and make it happen. And I can't thank them all individually, but they know who they are. And I'd like to thank them as well for making today such a special occasion. So thank you. Safe travels for everybody.
Thanks, Byron. Thank you very much to the Estor family for being here today, in particular, Matt, for the way you opened up your heart and spoke so wonderfully today. And talking about Brendan is just wonderful. We really do appreciate that, and it gave us another perspective. I'd also like to thank the president of the Queensland Retired Police Association, Mr. Greg Early, is here today, which is a great example again that the Blue family continues on. That's just not past your actual time that you're in service, that there is this broader family that continue to turn up and support you in every single thing that you do. Big thanks to the QBank staff. I know Byron just tipped on that, but also there are so many people that have put this together, everything from getting the awards right to making sure your meals are exactly the right consistency and delivered for those that have allergies, etc. But also the W staff, not only the wait staff that have been here, but also there's a whole team of chefs out there at the back that have made sure that these meals have been delivered expertly. So thank you very much for that. The stories today you have heard have been incredible and have just been a snapshot in time, the tip of the iceberg, effectively, of what our first responders are doing out there every single day. I spoke to a police officer just recently who received a commissioner's certificate for rescuing a person who was trying self-harm on the M1 motorway and actually wrestled in the laneways between cars coming past. And I said, congratulations and all that sort of thing. And he said, mate, that's just one thing we do just one day. That's one incident out of 40 years of service that I do. And he said, someone just happened to recognise me for that particular moment. He said, there's cops doing that every single day out there. So congratulations. Please give yourselves a huge round of applause. Start thinking about if you have other people around you that are doing great things, start thinking about how you might acknowledge them in some capacity. Let's not always just leave it up to QBank to do it. QBank love doing it, but different things change over time. So if you think of a way of a colleague or something like that that is doing something fantastic in your community or in your workspace, think about acknowledging them, because it's wonderful to have a pat on the back. And it reminds me, my dad, he was a barber, and he used to meet all sorts of people, and he'd say to me, you could always tell a huge amount about people by looking at their shoes when they sat in his barber chair. He said, he'd love to see a tradesman come in with mud on his boots because it meant he'd been working hard. And he said he used to love to see guys just sit in that comfy chair and almost just slump down, because it meant that they'd been at work and they'd actually given their all and they were doing something relaxing for them, and they would tell amazing stories. Mind you, it helped him provide the biggest bloody intelligence network about me and my brother over the years, but it seemed we couldn't get away with anything in the community. But anyway, he did say to me that, son, you may not have saved a lot of money in your life, but if you've saved a lot of heartache for other folks, you're a pretty rich man. And I think that could be the same for everybody in this room today. Thank you very much. Please don't leave without taking photos today. All our nominees and recipients, please come forward to the stage. Our photographers are going to group you all together and do some wonderful photos. They'll be lasting memories. Thanks for being here today. Travel home safe. And don't forget, Byron's paid for all the grog. So all of those bottles are already prepaid. So please make sure they all leave here empty. But I wouldn't encourage binge drinking, okay? So be responsible, people. Those of you who've got a hotel room here, get into it. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful time. And please remember to nominate.
Push me and pull me, and you love me, all your people talent, kiss me and tease me, baby, we can go. All your people talent, push me and pull me, and you love me, all your people talent, kiss me and tease me, baby, we can go. All your people talent, push me and pull me, but then you tease all your people talent, kiss me and tease me, baby, we can go. All your people talent, love me, all your people talent, please, all your people talent, love me, all your people talent. We should find the place sunlight rises. Don't wanna know your name. Take you somewhere quiet.
Is it just the way you talk? Is it in the way you walk? Is it when you smile at me that brings me down to my knees? It's just what it's a perfect enemy. Oh, baby, the way that you hold your hand. It's something about the
The black tables, and I've seen girls compose me. The owner paid them 200 to make the men's balance. It's leave it alone. And the host is in its zone, and she's raising up a bottle. As soon as drinks will fall, they'll spend money on the women. And I know one thing for sure. They're nice, they're musicians, tapping feet all on the floor. And she fidgeting for more, knowing every man is shining.
Go charge it, done that, then I know back shot. Dark head out, get a cool and back. You work to be, just when me, make you back. Hurt the baby, woman reach me, make you stop. Riley go ahead, I left one side. I love on this boy, I ride with the tie. I them pop on the champagne, chop my gun for my belly and I style it like. Yeah, no, you enjoy yourself. Burn them up, the bus bring all of them. Name sharp, I'm on sin all again. That can't the blocks, so just spill all of them. Bucket, all the one when I pop it. It is some dark, make the way, just stop it, go.
This is my regard, charges to my mind, you give me every time. This is my regard, charges to my mind, you give me every time.
To them black, this, that black power, that black pushing them to identify with black culture. I think that's what you're asking. I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world. I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization. We don't know anything about it. So again, I think I've said this before in the same interview, I think, at some time before. My job is to somehow make them curious enough and persuade them by hook or crook to get more aware of themselves and where they came from.